So Mila has never been out in the snow, so we're gonna go see snow. It's a really nice packing snow, so you could hear it like crumble underneath. Ooh, it's nice. First nice snow of the season. We could literally have like some.
Oh, you can build a snowman with this.
Yeah. Set her down, Daddy.
Don't show my butt.
Ooh. What is it, honey? Where you going? Is it chilly? Oh.
What you doing? You playing in Mila, the snow? Mila, come see. Mila. Давай.
Fix her hat, Daddy.
Come here.
Can't really stay out here for long because this is actually kind of a snowsuit, but none of the shoes would fit over her thing, so I put something underneath and then just letting her walk in that without anything because it's a nice packing snow, so it's not going to be soaking wet, but just let her come out here for just a few minutes so she can see what it is. What is it, darling? Wow! Wow! Is it nice? Daddy's calling home. Let's go with Daddy. Come on. Let's go with Daddy. It's really pretty. And all of our neighbors' yards are covered and it's kind of nice out in the hills. It's like you're up in the mountains. Woo! Sorry, I have been kind of MIA vlogging and also doing a little bit of more chit chat like I normally do during my vlogs. But this week has been kind of like almost like a spring cleaning kind of. I've been cleaning our closets, getting rid of stuff that we don't need and putting some things away that we're not using right now. It's quite ridiculous how much stuff you end up collecting. It's like you start cleaning it and you're like, oh, not a big deal. This shelf should take, 30 minutes, and then you're into it and you're like 2 hours cleaning everything out, organizing it. So I'm not OCD. I do like stuff organized. I think I've said that before. It just makes me feel good to do other tasks, and I feel like I can relax. So I feel like the more you can prepare in regards to organizing and getting stuff situated to where you can find stuff, the better functionality you'll have. Say hey! We're doing bath time. Today's Thursday, by the way. But I'm kind of exhausted now. My bump is kind of getting bigger and been kind of having a weird sleeping pattern, I guess you can say. I've been, going to sleep about 10:30, and then for some reason I would wake up at 6, like wide awake, and then I would just like be awake for an hour and then I'd go back to sleep. So, but Mila's been good. She's been sleeping pretty much throughout the night, and sometimes she'll sleep till 9:30. So it's kind of a treat. Besides, sometimes I do have to get up and, prepare Ryan breakfast and stuff like that. But I'm about to wash our baby and put her to bed so I can get some other things situated before I go to bed myself. Ryan is downstairs working, so I've been kind of, what I do is usually I'll fix her bath and she sits here and soaks and plays for about 10-20 minutes, and then I go clean up her toys and put everything away, prepare the coffee, prepare her clothes, her bottle, her diapers, you know, clean up her room, make sure her humidifier is full and it's on, her night light, her bed is situated, and then yeah, make sure that everything's clean so that by the time I finish giving her a bath, then I can kind of start winding down myself. Because most of the time I go take a shower in the evenings. Oh, goodness. You better stop. So that's the deal today. What you doing? But we're not going to go to Greenville this weekend, so I'm kind of glad. We do have a few things that we need to do at home. Say hey! We need to fix our fence post, but we need Daddy for that, yeah? And we had snow, so we need to wait for it to melt, so we'll get to cleaning our yard sometime this weekend. No, honey. No. Anyway, so let's just dive right in. Give this girl a bath. Ready? Mommy's coming in. Mommy's coming in. I'm gonna get you. Let's go. Let's go night-night. Hurry. Go tell Daddy.
Come here. I love you. Daddy loves his baby. Look at camera. Say hello.
Give Daddy kissy.
Don't you be shy for the camera. Night night. Love you.
Hey you guys, trying to fix my hair. It's always kind of cray every time I get on this camera, because most of the time it's not styled. Hashtag mom life. But it's kind of been sporadic a little bit with the vlogs. I still enjoy doing them, which I have. Recorded a lot of these little clips, but they're kind of sporadic, so they're not like a full day or 1 week. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna piece this vlog together, but you know, so if you see there different things, then you probably will know that it's like several different days and probably 2 weeks combined. Mila's asleep, and I am about to go finish cleaning off the porch. I'm kind of in the spring cleaning mood, I guess, because, you know, I'm 5 months pregnant, almost 5.5. And so I wanted to get a lot of this stuff done. Some things put away, some things washed, just because, you know, once the baby comes, I'm sure that that's not gonna be my priority. So I'm about to wash a few bathroom rugs, clean this floor in the kitchen that just gets juice all over it and is so sticky every time I walk with my slippers. But I vacuumed yesterday, so just kind of been busy, you know, with Mila and her transitions. I feel like I have a legitimate toddler. She is really hitting all those milestones, but she's been really kind of giving me attitude, and her personality's coming out. Like the arching back and buckle my knees if I don't get my way, fall on the floor type of deal. So I had to, you know, kind of be a little off camera and I guess kind of take my time to raise her and to, which I mean, it never stops, but there are certain phases that you go through that are a little bit rougher. You know, whenever they're in an infant stage, there are certain times that are a little bit rougher, and then once they become a toddler and you have to like break them in and just, and I'm not, you know, I'm not talking about abuse, I'm talking about, you know, teaching them what no means, because they are very capable of understanding. Like yesterday, I was telling her certain things, like she was dropping grapes on the floor, and I told her, pick those up and put them back in your bowl. She picked them up and put them back in her bowl, and you know, just little things. They really understand. Kids pick up really quick, and they're very smart. So I think sometimes we underestimate how smart they are, and some of the things that they do, they try to get out of it. but it's very important as a parent to be consistent, because if you are not consistent, then they can tell that they can weasel their way out of it. So it's very important, and it's very important for both of the spouses to be on the same page. You know, and I'm not, you know, saying anything about Ryan, but like, for example, because I know there are certain things that I can be slacking in, you know, and then there's certain things that, you know, Ryan can be slacking in. But for example, like we're trying to kind of get her into the phase of understanding what potty is, that it's not just like some kind of a joke that we are just putting you on the potty just for nothing. And, you know, we sometimes hit and we sometimes miss. Meaning that sometimes she goes peeing in the potty and sometimes she doesn't. But there are times when I'm not available, you know, and she gets up and Ryan picks her up. It's very tempting to take her, you know, because she's cuddly when she first wakes up, you know, from her nap, and just to go ahead and play with her. But I have been really training her to go to the bathroom before nap and after nap. So sometimes I have to get on to Ryan and I'm like, Ryan, you have to put her on a potty, because then she's gonna know that she can get her way out. And that's not what we're aiming for. We don't want 2 children in diapers, like, which we have been using less diapers, which is definitely helpful. But for those of you who don't know, like, I actually buy the Up and Up brand. Somebody's calling me. The Up and Up brand from Target. It's like $21 for like 200, so it's a really, really good deal. So if you are looking for good diapers, Up and Up brand from Target is really good. So I didn't know this, but then I read not too long ago that you can make bread in your food processor. So that's what I did. It's very easy. Literally takes like 5 minutes, maybe not even that. So it actually kneads your dough really well for you. I mean, look how nice and soft it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it out. So I have like a very simple and basic recipe. It's basically, for this kind of a bread, this size, I usually do 1.5 cups of water, like lukewarm water. Put like a little bit more than a tablespoon of yeast, and then a tablespoon of salt. And then usually you let the yeast sit in the water for a little bit so it activates it. I'll go ahead and put some flour on this so it doesn't stick. But it's nicely kneaded. This is actually my first time doing this in the food processor. I've never done that before. But you could tell it's really nicely mixed. So I'm gonna lay it on here. It's pretty clean too. I mean, the bowl is pretty clean. And the dough is very soft. What I like about it, it's probably more precise than you mixing it with your hands, just because it doesn't soak in too much of the flour. Or sometimes, you know, you feel like you need to add more flour because your hands are getting sticky, but you're actually making the dough really tight. And that makes the bread really like thick and not that good. It's not going to be as soft and fluffy. So I'm going to go ahead and just knead the rest. It's nicely done. So this is a really good investment, honestly. I've been doing quite a bit of things in the food processor since we've become vegan. I have been doing falafels. You can do hummus. You can do protein shakes if you want to, if you don't have like a NutriBullet. There's just different variety of things. Like you can do pesto, you know, and you don't have to be vegan to have a food processor, but I kind of always saw people use it and I always wanted one. And I'm not holding my camera very well. I feel like I'm kind of out of the routine with my vlogging. But anyway, so this is what it looks like. Of course, I'm gonna let it rise. Usually, how my mom taught me is to let it sit on like the sun. That helps for the yeast to rise a little bit. So I'm gonna flatten it out just a tad. Like that. gonna be a little bit of a smaller loaf. You can probably do 2 cups of water. Of course, you're gonna have to add a little bit more yeast, probably 2 tablespoons of yeast. And just a little bit over 1 tablespoon of salt, depending on how salty you like your bread. I kind of like to taste the salt in my bread. Some people don't. Some people kind of want it neutral, but this is olive oil, and all I'm doing is just kind of patting it on top so it looks crispy. You can also beat an egg. My mom used to do that. And that kind of makes the top a little shiny and a little bit more crispy. So probably gonna let it sit here for about a good 45 minutes to rise. Usually the best way to do it is if you knead the dough and then let it sit in a bowl to rise, and then you knead it one more time, put it in the pan, let it rise one more time, and then your bread is going to be a little bit softer, or how would you say, fluffier. And I mean, the cleanup is not that bad either. Just have to take out this little bowl right here. Just have to get a little bit of dough in here on this non-detachable thing. Sorry, my camera skills. Just clean it off like that. Anyway, but since Mila's room is like not too far from here, I have to actually go do it outside. So I took the food processor outside, so I'm gonna let it sit. Probably gonna cover it up with some, see if I have a clean, I do, like a clean towel, like a kitchen towel. Sometimes keeping that dough warm and then letting it sit a little bit more on a sunny place, like your windowsill, like that, that helps to like allow the yeast to rise a little bit quicker. So it's kind of a perfect time for the summer or spring to do that, because it definitely rises quicker if you're in a hurry. But during the fall, you kind of have to find a little bit of a warmer spot. Sometimes I put it by the oven or by the stove if I'm cooking, so it can kind of get that heat. Anyway, that's done. My little girl is asleep. Now I gotta get off this camera and do some dishes, finish cleaning up. Just did 1 load of laundry, and yeah, so it's kind of what I'm up to as far as prepping. I do have soup left over from yesterday, so I'm gonna feed her that soup, and then possibly the fresh bread that comes out of the oven. I love fresh bread. I could probably eat half the loaf whenever you make it fresh, like homemade, especially when, you know, we were non-vegans. My favorite thing to do was to put cheese, like mozzarella cheese, on top when it's still hot and allow it to melt. It was like so heavenly. But of course there is vegan cheese options. It doesn't melt the same, and it definitely doesn't taste the same. However, you know, I do notice a big difference in my skin that I'm not eating as much dairy, like milk products, because they have so much stuff in them. I'm not breaking out, so that's a good thing. Oh, and kind of my bump update. I haven't been really talking about my bump at all, but I'm like 5.5 months almost. Like 5.5 months this week, by the end of this week. So have found a midwife, which is awesome. And yeah, I feel like it's going smoothly. He is kicking a lot more than Mila. Mila was a very calm baby. He is just a kicker. I could feel them pretty much all day. So Ryan always asks, like, do you feel them? Do you feel them? So he has felt him this week, I think, for the first time kicking. Several times actually. But I'm sure as we continue to grow, which I still feel like I feel like I'm either farther along or I'm growing a lot quicker because my belly's a lot bigger. And so that's one of the reasons I'm trying to get a lot of this stuff done, like spring cleaning, floors, you know, so that I don't have to do any of this later on. But anyway, that's kind of the plan for the day. As you can tell, I need to sweep my porch, clean off that. I actually washed our little seat cushions because they had a lot of nasty fall residue from there, so they're drying. You looking through mommy's cabinets? What are you doing? Why don't you go put it back?
Yeah.
Go put it back. Go put it back for mama, little girl. Hold on. Hold on. Mommy's got to do this. Alright, so a little trick with bread. Look how perfect it came out. So beautiful, so perfect. So the core actually tends to be really hard. So another trick to soften it up, as soon as you get out of the oven, get it out of the oven, I should say properly. So you take it out of the pan, put it on top of like a towel, and then just fold it over like that. So the steam from the hot bread will actually soften up the core a little bit better, and then it's not going to be as hard and it's not going to be as crumbly. You're not going to have a bunch of crumbs all over the place. So I just set it aside. Mom always told me never to eat bread hot because it's not good for your stomach, but I can't really help it because I really actually love eating hot bread. But I'm going to set it aside. We're going to go outside. You want to go outside? You want to go ride your car? You want to go ride your car? Let's go ride your car. Come on. It's a little windy today, but as you can tell, I'm cleaning and she is carrying all this stuff out. From my bathroom, from her cabinet. I mean, just, it's a never-ending task. It's so much work. So the bread has cooled down, as you can still see it's still pretty, but the core has softened. It's very nice right now. It's not like, you know, falling apart. And the inside is nice and fluffy. And it's not that hard, so perfect bread. And I kind of keep it under this until I'm storing it in the fridge or wherever else I'm putting it. That way it stays fresh. But hope you guys, if you wanted to try it with your food processor, you know, it literally doesn't take you long to prep. So while you're cleaning, you know, your bread could be baking. So I like to always hold the first bites from a nice fresh bread. But hope you guys enjoy this vlog. I know it's a little bit sporadic and it's a little bit like bits and pieces, but definitely going to be more consistent, and you'll see more kind of updates on my pregnancy and a few other things that are coming your way. But as always, create culture and be you, and I will see you guys next time in my next video. And be sure to subscribe if you like our channel, and we'll hopefully get to see you next time. Make sure that you put that notifications, turn it on so that you can get the notification every time a new video does come up so that you don't miss out. But okay, I think that's everything. Bye.